SocialRobot is a link building software that can build up to 800 social bookmarking links on autopilot. This is particularly useful for YouTube videos that have been proven to rank with social signals. It's also a good tool for creating Tier 2 backlinks to fuel your Tier 1 links going to your money sites. SocialRobot is very similar to MoneyRobot, but costs a small fraction of the price. MoneyRobot is $67 per month or $497 as a one-time fee. It was developed by an all-star team of marketers, including Joshua Zamora and Mike Thomas. It's also compatible and integrated with several marketing products and services, as you will see. Okay, so here we are inside of SocialRobot Professional. What I'm going to do is set up a project and show you the process of setting up a project and getting it running. Before you do set up a project, you need to go through the options and set those up. It's kind of a one-time thing. Of course, you can tweak them as you use the software and kind of get more acquainted with it and set it up so that you get the results you want. Since I've only used it once so far with the demo over here, I am going to leave these general settings at their default values, and I'll probably tweak them the more I do other campaigns and kind of get a feel for the difference it makes if I kind of move these around a little bit. But for now, I'm pretty satisfied with the default values. Basically, if you look at these, for example, the retry options, it's just saying if SocialRobot fails to create an account, how many times do you want to retry it? You can do it once, twice, 3 times. So it's kind of intuitive. I leave it at 1 because, maybe if I bring it all the way up to 5, that could cause some delays. Plus, I'm trying to still get a feel for how often the registrations succeed or fail. On my first campaign, I didn't have too many failures, but you can't really go off of one result. So moving on, it's good if you have CAPTCHA breakers, some kind of CAPTCHA breaker credits to integrate with SocialRobot. As you can see, it's compatible with 2CAPTCHA, Death by CAPTCHA, dCAPTCHA, Image Typer, Spamvilla, CAPTCHAtronics, all of the major, there's GSA CAPTCHA Breaker, all of the major CAPTCHA Breaker tools out there. I believe it's even compatible with more of these than GSA, Search Engine Ranker, and MoneyRobot. You can also choose to skip the CAPTCHAs altogether, which I would not recommend because a lot of the websites these days have CAPTCHAs when you're signing up for them. I mean, you probably know this already. You're always having to solve these CAPTCHAs to sign up. It's their way of protecting against bots. You could choose to manually solve the CAPTCHAs, but then you would kind of have to sit in front of SocialRobot as it runs, which basically takes away from the fact that this should be an automated solution. So what I did is I basically bought $6 worth of credits from deathbycaptcha.com. I actually bought these credits for MoneyRobot when I used this MoneyRobot before using SocialRobot, and they have $6 of credits have still lasted me to this day. That was a few weeks ago, and I use these programs a lot. So, I mean, that's just to give you an idea. These are really inexpensive, and I would just recommend Death by CAPTCHA. Get some credits. You can check your balance at any time, which is cool. You can also test your login to make sure it's properly integrated. As you can see, it worked out there. So moving on, your proxies. If you've ever used any link building tool, you would know that it's good to have proxies as well. I have 20 proxies. Some people have 30, some people have 50. It's really up to you. But the point is, when you get your proxies, and they recommend buyproxies.org, so when buyproxies.org sends you the file with your proxies, for example, all you have to do is go here, add proxies, and choose your text file. You don't, SocialRobot will automatically read how that file is delimited and load it in basically in less than a second. I was really impressed by that as well. When it comes to pinging, all you really need to do here is, if you're familiar with pinging on your WordPress blog, there's somewhere on the WordPress dashboard in your settings, you can paste a list of websites to ping every time you publish a new post or page to your WordPress blog. And it's the same idea here. Basically, if you go online and search for WordPress ping, there we go, WordPress ping list 2015, there's all kinds of results. Just grab one of those lists and paste it into SocialRobot. Here you go. This one's even much more extensive than the one I've used. As a matter of fact, I might actually grab this one. So I'm going to copy that and simply paste it in there. So as you can see, tons of sites. Yeah, so save that. Now actually I'm not going to save yet because that's going to close the options, but you also have indexing. So I've been a member of Link Indexer, which is Joshua Zamora's link indexing tool. It was a small one-time fee when I purchased it, and this is not mandatory, but basically what it allows you to do is when SocialRobot builds your links, Link Indexer or one of these other tools, you don't have to use Link Indexer. If you have one of these, just go ahead and plug in your API key. But basically what this allows you to do is when you build those links inside SocialRobot, it's going to index them for you through Link Indexer, which basically just sticks them inside the Google search engine quicker than they would naturally, so you get quicker results and your links are more likely to stick, because naturally not all links get indexed, but if you use an indexer, your index rate goes up a lot. I don't have the exact numbers, but it does go up a lot. So then you have content. I don't believe this is really necessary, so I didn't use big content search, but you can get like a $1 trial if you want. Basically, this will help you get content. Since you're only doing social bookmarking links, these are really like 3-4 sentence blurbs that you're going to be publishing. I think you can write those out yourself. That's what I've done, as I'm going to show you in a moment. Just write them out yourself and then spin them. Speaking of spinning, if you have a spinning tool, like I have the best spinner, you can plug in your credentials here, and as you can see, login successful. You can test the integration as well. And then you have a few other things. Social base, that will get you a list of websites to use with SocialRobot. Again, not mandatory. You can actually enter your own URL list as you would do with GSA Captcha Breaker and Money Robot, or you can download from the link list from Social Base or somewhere else. Basically, all it does is give you a link list so you don't have to go out and scrape or find your own. You can also blacklist domains. So basically, let's say if I'm using Social Base and there's like 10 domains on there that I don't want to build links to, I would just add them to my blacklist and SocialRobot will not build links to those domains, which is good. And finally, we have logging, which I would recommend. You don't have to log anything, but by logging all actions and responses, if there is a problem at any point, or just simply after you run a campaign, you might want to check your log and kind of make sure nothing went wrong. If it goes wrong, you can also check the response within SocialRobot's response to that error and kind of monitor what's going on. Again, another optional thing that I just like to have enabled. Alright, now that we've gone through the boring part of going through the options, hopefully you're still with me, because we're going into the fun part of this demo and we're going to start a project. So go up here, add project. I'm going to call it Pro Styler. I'm going to say OK. It comes up on the left pane. So we're going to click on that. As you can see right now, we have no sites to post to, but that's about to change. I'm going to come over to Social Base. Now remember, you don't have to use Social Base. As I mentioned earlier, you can always add sites from your own list here, from a file, from another project, from wherever you want. I just happen to have Social Base. So what I'm going to do is check for updates real quick. It says check successful. I'm going to make sure it's updated. I just did this probably less than 8 hours ago, so there is no updates, but it's just a good habit to have. Another thing you can do is kind of filter for the types of links that you want. I could say that I only want do follow sites. I only want page ranks that are greater or equal to 1. And I'm just going to set these filters just to kind of show you. CAPTCHA, you can choose whether you only want to build to sites that have no CAPTCHA present or only CAPTCHA present, or you could do both. You can even do only EDU and Gov sites if you want. I'm going to apply these filters. My list is a little smaller now, and I only have sites that have greater than 1 PR. So they also all happen to be do follow, it looks like. Oh, that's right, because I chose that option, duh. So I'm going to transfer these sites to my project. I'm going to choose the ProStyler project, and don't add existing sites to the project again. Okay, so we're going to do that. Now when we come back to our project, you can see that the sites have been populated in there. You can also see that account creation, mail confirmation, and content posted is all grayed out, as well as link verified. That will change once we start running the campaign. So you have a couple options to run this campaign. I will get to that in a moment after we set up our project settings over here. So what I like to do is automatically generate random settings first, because what that does is get me random usernames inside Spintax, a random password, and then I can overwrite anything else that I don't need. So I'm going to plug in my website URL here. This is actually a tier 1 backlink to one of my product reviews. So basically what I'm going to do with SocialRobot is build a bunch of tier 2 social bookmarking links to my tier 1 backlink. So I'm going to put that in there. The tags, I've already got that prepared. So just going to copy those, paste them in here. There they are. And let's see. And then I'm going to use the same tags for my website title. And then my description as well. Now, as far as your description, you can paste this in spun or not spun. It really doesn't matter. I spun my description in advance, but if you didn't, you could just come over here, rewrite/spin, choose your rewriter that you have integrated with SocialRobot if you have one. As you can see, Spin Rewriter, Spinner Chief, Word AI are the best spinner. I chose to do this in advance, so none of that applies to me. Also, if you have big content search, you can get content, you can download content from there, or you can scrape content and get your website description that way. But as I said earlier, you really only need up to 450 characters, which is not a lot. So I would recommend just typing out 4 sentences, spinning it, and you're good to go. I don't think there's much need to scrape. If you want to see what this would look like, preview settings, and each time you spin again, you get basically a different combination of your settings. So this is what will be posted to our social bookmarking links. So maybe in this instance, the website title would be Get ProStyler Theme with that description. Slightly different there. ProStyler theme that time. ProStyler bonus. The tags change as well. Stuff like that. The username changes. The website URL remains the same, but let me try something here. let's say you wanted to build build social bookmarks to multiple URLs, you can do this, and as you can see, your URL changes. So sometimes you build links to this URL, sometimes you go to the other one. So you don't have to just build links to one URL. Again, you can play with this program quite a bit. It's very flexible. So you'll find out more as you go, and the more you use this, the more you'll find, the more you'll discover. Now the last thing you need to do is plug in a working email. It's going to use that email for this entire campaign. So I'm going to go get that really quick and come right back. Alright, so I found a random Yahoo email address that I had stored away. So I'm going to select Yahoo from the drop down. And I'm going to get the email address, paste that in here. Account username is, in this case, the same as the email address for Yahoo, and then the password's down here. To make sure you have, obviously, very important, you want to make sure this email address works before you start building links. So I'm going to test it. This is going to test down here. Email login test was successful. That's great. So here we are back on the main page for our project. Now we're ready to rock and roll. So here's the thing. You have a couple options here. Basically, SocialRobot is going to do 3 steps. The first thing it's going to do is register social accounts, register an account on all of these websites, and it's going to do that for you. There's nothing you have to do. With my filters that I've applied, I've got, let's see, I've got 92 social bookmarking links that I'm going to build to this one URL. So it's first going to create and register those accounts. Then it's going to check those accounts because, so it's going to check the email address that we've entered here and make sure that our account was created successfully and there's no problems with it. Once these two are checked off, Social Bookmark can then publish the content based on one of the combinations that we've come up with here. For example, it would create the username Christine17, use the website title, Pro Stellar Theme Bonus, that description, and the next time Pro Stellar Discount, and so on with Sheila833. So there you have that. So when we go back here, now one of the great things about SocialRobot Professional is that you can either do these one step at a time, or you can do the one-click posting. So with the one-click posting, it's going to do all 3 steps for us with the click of a button. That's what we're going to do in just a moment. And basically you click that, you sit back, you wait for it, you can do anything else that you want, move on to another project. Again, this is fully automated. We will come back after the results come in. After the results come in, it would be foolish to think that all of these are going to be created, all of these accounts are going to be created and posted on the very first try. Which is why we have these options. We can always come back and basically register on all failed sites, which gives us another chance to try it again, register on all unregistered sites, and post content, post to all sites that have not yet been posted to, all failed sites. But you also have these other actions in here. But for now, I want to just get a clean sweep of this list and basically see how it goes. So let's go ahead and begin with this. I'm going to click that, and we are going to come back when this is done. But first, I just want to mention a couple of things. As far as this progress report goes, you can see the resource monitor over here shows you the time elapsed, threads in use, CPU usage, RAM usage, all really cool. You can pause at any time that you want. As you can see, it's just whizzing by with processing these sites. 5 registrations successful, 1 has failed so far. Nothing surprising. Now we're 8 more. Alright, so after the very first run, we're going to see that some content has been posted, some links have been verified, and some did not work down here. But don't get too caught up in the failures, and there's several reasons for that. First and foremost, the main thing we're doing here is creating links for free without any effort on our part. We were successful in being able to do that. Therefore, we have been successful in bolstering our tier 1 link, which is what we built social bookmarking links to. And the other things to consider is that, first of all, we can do a second run at this where we go over and post to the websites where we have an account created and do not yet have a link or content posted. There are also many variables that could add to the few failures we have here at the bottom. For example, a proxy may not have worked. From our proxy list, you might want to test the proxies. Maybe the username that we created did not meet the criteria of the page, and we just need to kind of tweak the combinations that we're using here. Maybe try another automatic randomly generated set of usernames. It's bound to happen. And it's up to you whether you want to go back and forth with the links that were not able to be created, or if you just want to add more links to your project. That's what I would be more inclined to do, because it doesn't really matter. We're just trying to create more and more links for this project. Again, this is just something that runs on complete autopilot, so I take the results because I know that it's going to help my money site or YouTube video ultimately. So there's things to consider. The only thing that matters at the end of the day are the backlinks that you're getting out of this program, that you're getting instead of having to create them manually, which would be too inefficient, take way too much time, and you just don't want to go through that. This gives you an automated solution. So with that said, that's kind of just a test run. You know, if we were to continue moving on, for example, when I go on to create additional projects, one thing that I mentioned at the beginning is that you might want to play with your general settings here and kind of get it down to where you are able to build as many links as possible per project. You can also kind of play with your link lists. Either get link lists from different services online. You can scrape for your links. You could download your competitors' links and load them into SocialRobot. You know, there's many opportunities that this presents. But basically, if we want to look at one of the random links that we generated with SocialRobot, we can right-click wherever it says link verified or even content posted and go down to the last option here, open post. It'll come up in your browser. And as you can see, this is a social bookmark that we now have. Here's another one. ProStyler download. And they're just different combinations on different sites based on your spun description. This is why we don't need to have that much text. I mean, it's really just a blurb. but every time you're getting your keywords in the URL and you're getting a social bookmark, which is great for SEO and rankings. So that's really about it. If you look below this video, I'm going to have a link to my final product review of SocialRobot. On that review page, I will always have links to purchase SocialRobot, and those links will take you to the best price right now for SocialRobot. In addition, if you purchase through my review page, you will receive all of the free bonus products listed on that page. Absolutely free. There's instructions on how to claim your bonuses. And if you don't like any one of the bonuses on that default list, I have a link below the complete list of bonuses in which you can choose substitution products. You could substitute any products from my list. You can substitute one product, or you could substitute products for all of the defaults. I literally have hundreds of products, and there's tons of value right there in itself. So there's tons of incentive, and I don't see any reason not to purchase SocialRobot, and the reason is it comes with a money-back guarantee. So my suggestion is buy it, try it out, check your rankings. If your rankings go up, great. You have just created backlinks and increased your rankings on autopilot. If you don't get results, simply get your money back. Even if you get results and you're just not happy with the program itself, get your money back. There's no questions asked, no risk at all. So that's about it. Thank you for watching my product demo, and have a great day.